The streets are quiet, but not peaceful. It's the kind of silence that feels like a held breath before something breaks. Across the world, there are neighborhoods where danger is not a myth, but a number, measured in lives lost and futures shortened. At dawn, life begins again. Children walk to school past corners where survival depends on knowing which way not to look. By midday, the rhythm of the streets is predictable yet fragile. Commerce, caution, and community moving in quiet negotiation. As the sun sets, the tone shifts. Shops close early, lights dim, and the weight of unspoken fear settles into every step. When darkness falls, the streets change shape. Every shadow holds a decision, and every sound carries a quiet warning. Between midnight and dawn, silence becomes heavy. Those who move through it do so carefully, with purpose or necessity. Morning light returns, but it doesn't bring relief. It only exposes what night concealed, the tension that never truly sleeps. By noon, patterns repeat. The same paths, the same faces, the same quiet calculations that keep danger just out of reach. After 48 hours, nothing feels resolved. The danger isn't an event. It's the structure life must balance upon daily. Statistics tell a story most people never see. Numbers reveal patterns, but behind each one is a life cut short too soon. Across continents, danger concentrates like storm clouds. São Paulo, Caracas, Acapulco, each with its own rhythm of survival. These figures aren't rumors. They are logged, reported, confirmed, a paper trail of pain measured in annual percentages. Poverty, drugs, and the collapse of order, they intertwine. Together, they shape a geography of danger few can escape. Violence here isn't random, it's designed, built into systems that reward survival, but rarely permit real safety or change. Some say labeling a place as dangerous builds walls of fear. Others say ignoring it hides a truth we cannot fix. What we measure is incomplete. The unseen violence, robberies, assaults, trauma stays buried beneath official numbers. Does poverty create danger, or does danger breed poverty? In these streets, the answer shifts depending on who survives. 2 days tell a lifetime's truth. The violence isn't new, it's routine, a pattern so deep it feels like part of the landscape. What we see is only the surface of struggle. Beneath it lies history, policy, and a system that quietly decides who lives. For those who live here, fear isn't panic, it's routine. Every choice, every step is a calculation for survival. Mothers walk their children through danger with practiced calm. Every route chosen is both protection and prayer. Trauma hides behind ordinary faces. Generations carry stress like inheritance, passed quietly from parent to child. Residents build invisible maps in their minds, paths of light and shadow, times to move, times to stay behind doors. Amid fear, life persists. Communities organize, neighbors protect, and hope flickers even in the darkest corners. Even in danger, people build networks of care, a watchful neighbor, a shared meal, small acts that keep humanity alive. Children play between broken walls, their laughter defying the statistics. They inherit risk, but also resilience and will. In neighborhoods like this, courage isn't loud. It's a father walking home late, a mother keeping her door open for others. Survival here isn't heroic, it's habitual. Every sunrise means one more chance to make it through the invisible war. Not all heroes wear uniforms. Some sweep streets at dawn, feed children, or choose peace in places built for conflict. Experts compare safety to an ecosystem. Remove one layer, and the whole structure begins to tremble beneath its weight. When institutions vanish, danger grows roots. Without schools, jobs, or trust, the soil of a city turns toxic over time. These neighborhoods are mirrors. They reflect what happens when inequality, policy, and neglect meet on the same street. Violence isn't chaos, it's repetition. A rhythm formed by absence. No work, no justice, no reason to believe in safety. To study danger is to study design. These outcomes are not accidents. They are architectures of inequality built by choice. 48 hours reveal the truth. No headline can. Danger is not a moment. It's a condition people learn to live within. The goal isn't shock, it's clarity. To show not explosions of violence, but the quiet endurance beneath every sunrise. When we replace fear with empathy, numbers become faces. We start to see not danger zones, but human neighborhoods. Life here is both fragile and fierce. Ordinary moments, buying bread, walking home, become acts of resilience and grace. If you lived here, what would you change? What habits, fears, and hopes would shape your daily rhythm under constant threat? We know these places are real. Streets where life expectancy bends under the weight of poverty, policy, and neglect. Across nations, the same pattern repeats. Violence thrives where opportunity fades, and silence becomes a kind of survival. We still don't know the full story, whether change will come from policy, from people, or from the slow erosion of fear. Numbers can't capture grief. They can't measure the quiet strength of a mother or the weight of hope in a single streetlight. The future isn't about fixing broken places. It's about lifting those who never stopped fighting to make them livable. Without intervention, the pattern holds. Violence doesn't fade. It adjusts, shaping itself around the limits of survival. Community programs spark small shifts. Youth centers, jobs, trust. Change begins quietly, block by block, choice by choice. True reform demands courage, rewriting laws, rebuilding faith, and redistributing the power that danger once controlled. uncontrolled. Some will leave, chasing safety elsewhere. Others will stay, holding the line between memory, identity, and survival. The future depends not on fate, but on will. The decision to see danger as a system that can still be redesigned. The story isn't about danger, it's about people, lives unfolding under pressure, yet still finding ways to breathe and belong. Resilience here isn't heroic, it's daily. It's the quiet strength to keep going, even when the world refuses to look closer. These neighborhoods exist not by chance, by design, a reflection of where systems invest and where they quietly withdraw. Understanding violence isn't about fear, it's about empathy. It's about seeing structure, not chaos, people, not statistics. To change anything, we must first listen to the data, yes, but more importantly, to the voices still living within the danger. The next story isn't about violence, it's about transformation, about how communities rebuild what the world forgot to save. In every broken street, hope plants itself quietly, a child learning, a shop reopening, signs that the cycle can be rewritten. Real safety begins from within. When trust grows between neighbors, it becomes stronger than fear or the absence of law. Healing starts with stories, voices rising from the ground, reminding us that resilience is a form of resistance itself. The journey doesn't end here. Understanding danger is only the start. Seeing humanity within it is where change begins. The echoes of violence don't vanish. They linger in memory, shaping how a generation learns what safety truly means. No city is isolated. Every act of neglect connects across borders, creating invisible lines between wealth and survival. Awareness alone isn't enough. Real change demands accountability from leaders, systems, and those who look away. To understand these places, we must shift our gaze from statistics and fear to humanity, endurance, and quiet strength. Even under pressure, humanity endures. It speaks through every shared meal, every guarded smile, every breath of hope. What we've seen are not stories of despair, but of endurance, the quiet persistence of life where danger never sleeps. Systems built over decades cannot be undone overnight, yet every act of awareness weakens the foundation of neglect. Across every border, the same thread connects us: hope, fear, resilience, the unbroken fabric that defines being human. Empathy is the first intervention. To see, to listen, to care. That's how the architecture of inequality begins to crack. Danger may define these streets, but so does courage. Where systems fail, people continue, resilient, defiant, and alive. The future depends on whether we choose empathy over indifference, action over silence, and unity over fear. Safety is collective. It belongs to all of us. When one neighborhood suffers, the world's conscience should tremble too. Change isn't a single event. It's a process of listening, learning, and rebuilding what was once written off as lost. Hope doesn't arrive loudly. It hums beneath broken walls, carried by those who still believe in better days ahead. This story ends where it began, with quiet streets, held breath, and the unyielding will to keep living through the storm.